And as of now, there are about 24 ministries in Government of India. I'm not talking about the state governments who are doing it independently. And there are more than 70 schemes of skill development. But the biggest challenge in this country was standardization, to have common norms for them, to have a common training program, and to have a certification system. This challenge has been met by a decision which was taken in the previous government, the National Skills Qualification Framework. Every job role, maybe that of an anchor or an editor, or maybe a loader or a driver or a pilot or even a welder, all is in a scale of 1 to 10, which is called NS, National Skills Qualification Framework. All the job roles, and I think majority of the job roles spread in 33 sectors have been mapped. So we have around 6,500 job roles. A combination of job roles creates the qualification pack, which is what we are talking today. And this qualification pack is created by the industry. So it's not the government which decides, it's not the university which decides, it's the industry which decides, for this job I want this qualification, this is the curriculum. If you can train X in such amount of period of time and give me this product as a manpower, I will employ him. So we are making it short, we are making it target oriented, and this is what we are trying to do in a big way. You say how you are going to do? These are some of the schemes which the Prime Minister, the Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana, to give it a large reach. We are talking about skill loan schemes, we are talking about skill cards, we are talking about, and the biggest decision which has been taken in last few months is that the base training of vocational training of a very high quality, which actually took place in this country, which has got smeared over the period of time, is through ITIs. Prime Minister Modi has decided, Mr. Modi has decided to migrate all the ITIs, those institutions, from the Ministry of Labour to the Ministry of Skill Development. And I think that could be a turning point, because we have a more focused approach and a more an approach where we can train the students.
You know, while I appreciate your focused approach, and I think you really hit the nail on its head, because you know what is to be done, there has to be a criteria. You are going to be dealing with a lot of ministries, you are going to be dealing with many more departments. Is execution mechanism your biggest challenge?
Yes, I understand what you say, and I'm a very new minister in this field and a very new ministry in this field. But I can tell you the cooperation which I am getting from all the ministries, because training is not the domain of all these ministries. It's petrochemicals, chemicals. Mr. Anant Kumar has come forth, sign an MOU. We are signing an MOU with Ministry of Defence, and that I would like to speak. We have today signed an MOU with Ministry of Railways, Ministry of Power, Ministry of Energy, Ministry of Renewable Energy, Ministry of Health. I think almost Ministry of Disabilities. We have been signing an MOU because they have huge Ministry of Public Sector Enterprises, heavy industries. All of them have huge infrastructure, and we are targeting those sparable infrastructure and also the resources which they have, because their domain is not exactly training. They have picked up training because they wanted to do it, but now we are having a dedicated setup. So most of these ministries are partnering. Even the Prime Minister has felt a couple of times that all which does not actually is in your domain must be relieved and given back to the skill development, because we have created that ministry, and I can tell you there is 100% cooperation, there is nothing to crib about. It's a new thing, it's a new challenge, it's a new ministry, it's a new idea. So I understand those problems would be there, but I'm sure we'll be able to overcome it. Prime Minister is monitoring it himself, and that is why this mission, possibly for the first time, a mission for skills in our country, the first mission in this country is being headed by a Prime Minister. So that is the importance of it.
That's a fair point indeed, and I think central to all of this is also the fact that your PM's pet projects like a Make in India, Digital India are dependent on skill availability.
It's a very natural understanding.
Right. So is there enough talent pool there ready to be absorbed by the industry?
Yes, I can tell you, well, we have done some skill gap studies. And if I have to rattle out some figures, in construction alone we require 34 million people next 5 years. In retail, we require about 17 million youngsters. In furnishings and furnishers, we require about 10 million people. In life sciences and healthcare, we require about 4 million people. In automotive sector, that means cars, vehicles, we require 4 million people. We have a whole set. And the incremental requirement for next 5 years, assuming that your rate of growth of GDP is around 7 to 8%, or maybe when we reach 2 digit, would be about more than 100 million people. So we have a demand, we do not have skilled people. And as a result, this mismatch is creating a disequilibrium in the whole setup.
How was the government's initiative, the ones that you're talking about, adjust with the existing schemes like an NSDC or even an NSDA? Are those going to be subsumed? I mean, how is this really
NSDC is an institution which was created by the previous government. Now it has been migrated to the Ministry of Skill Development. It's an agency, it's a corporation which recognizes training providers, and the sector skill councils are apart. And NSDA is the policy level, the qualification framework which is decided. So these two are the institutions. So the institutions for us today are A, NSDC, B, NSDA, 3 is ITIs, which means Director General Training and Director General Apprenticeship. Then we have the Ministry of Entrepreneurship, NISBIRD, and many more organizations. And as things go, we are getting more and more support from other ministries to create a spectrum of, and then we have the similar setup in the state governments. So the spectrum of reach, spectrum is being created to create a bigger reach. It will take a while because all these things have been happening in other countries 50 years, 40 years ago. We just begun. So we'll have to give us that bonus that we all was spent in education.
That's right.
Well, the intent was vocational education, but it could not happen. Now we are focusing on that.
Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/ETNow and don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at ETNowLive. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/user/ETNow.